research consultant, and it is honor to be graced by such an accomplished scientist come research consultant. Now I would like to come our Professor of Practice, Dr. Shivakumar sir, to share about the profile about Madam Chief Guest. And before that, I would like to welcome the Madam Professor Aruna ma'am and our Professor Kumaran sir and our lovely faculty Mala madam, our energetic young and energetic Priya ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. As all of you know, I am the professor of practice in biotechnology. Right now I am participated in TBI. This way I am proud to introduce, this is a collaborative one, so with the TBI and the Department of Biotechnology. So that way I proud to introduce Dr. Shanthanalakshmi. She is my junior when we did PhD in AC Tech, myself and Shanthanalakshmi and Dr. Kumaran. That was 20 years before. She has 20 years experience research education. She is a dynamic researcher. She worked in different areas. She has completed PhD in liquid membrane. Then she switched over to the pollution control and so many applications. Then after that, half of her career she worked in blue economy. So that way, the algae and the spirulina, so this kind of research area, she worked for a long time in the different institute in India with the different fellowships. Then after that, she moved abroad, then particularly in Europe. She worked in Italy, Spain for several years. So after 20 years, then she again moved to UK, and now currently she is working in the RSK, one of the environmental company. Over that company, I think just 1 year completed. She worked as environmental consultant over the RSK company. With this, I invite, I think this is a eye-opener lecture. So how we can do some research other than green economy, this is a blue economy. So what she is going to talk. So this way, some of you is familiar with the blue economy. I think she is going to explain how we can do some more contribution, as I discussed with the HOD madam. Then we can concentrate other side also. So far we are concentrating more on the green economy. So as well as Arna madam is here. So through the incubator, we are also focusing the product-based research, not only the academic research. That way, I think this Dr. Shanthanalakshmi is the right person, and she is good researcher. From the research, what we can borrow, we try to borrow the further product application side. Okay, so that way I invite Dr. Shanthanalakshmi to deliver the lecture. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My voice took a break, so apologies. So I'll try to talk. Thank you, Priya, and thank you, my seniors like Dr. Shokma, Dr. Kumaran. I learned many things from them, especially the patience in research. Because we try to do research, but we don't get the results. That we do days, months, weeks, years, but still they have the patience. So literally I learned this patience from you people, because even I did after 2 years of experiment, but I don't get the results. But still we repeat, you need to have that courage to continue. That I learned from my seniors, so that I'm really grateful for them. Thank you, Dr. Anna ma'am. She's the one, she said, okay, you people are talking research, but what you people are bringing to society, that's what matters, right? Because all the research and everything, where we are getting the funding. Like, when I joined my research, I was a parent research fellow. We used to joke. I get money from my parents to do the research in Anna University because fossil based others. So there are a lot of fellowships, senior research fellowship, junior, but before that what is, we are parent research fellowship, we got fund from. So once we got government fund, we are obliged, because we are getting fund, from where we are getting the fund? From our taxpayer. Even if you buy one soap, we have to pay the tax. That tax goes to the government. The government has allot, certain section 2 back to the society. So we can't spend like that. So we need to do something, and we need to get some output that should be useful for the society. Even a paper cup, even a tea cup. Okay, if you are able to make some change to the society, that's what matters. Okay, we are happy in publishing papers, patterns, okay, we are happy. But at the end of the day, what you are bringing to the society, because I got stipend like 15,000 per month, that 15,000 is coming from taxpayers' money. So I need to give something back to the society. That's what more about research. So that I didn't say that I did pay back already, but we are trying. That's what I would rather say. So I started my research in membrane technology, where you can see everywhere there is a small ultrafiltration kit or RO kit we used to fix in our home nowadays to get the pure water. It's a shame. We are in Tanjore, it's a fertile zone. We have a Kaveri, but still we are using RO water. That is not good sign. So how we can modify, how we can be self-sustained. Okay, self-sustained is an important terminology. Now everybody is talking, because the first thing is you don't need to create anything new. Already things are there. You should find why, what, and how to use that. Because nature is already enriched with n number of products. But instead of creating new, mixing A plus B and getting C, there are plenty of material already exists. Try to find the application and use it. Before what they do, they the clay part, they put the stones, and we get the pure water. Now the same technology we are not bothering, so we are going for the RO water. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, we are already enriched with a lot of materials and technologies. Try to, dig deep and understand why it is there, what is there, and then try to find the application. Based on that, now so far everybody is concentrating green. Wherever you go, you see the terminology green. The green means something green. It's not hazardous. Even the signal green means it can pass through. If it is red, you should stop. So green is like, you can pass through, it's safe. It's kind of, create image that green means safe. But now the world is changing. There is one more terminology, they call it as blue. So where you can connect the blue color, do you have any idea? Huh? Marine, because it's in the title. It's good, but it's a good guess. So what I'm trying to say is, we have an ocean. Even in India, when you see, we have 3 sides covered by ocean. So what we are getting from ocean? How we are using the ocean? Are we sufficiently using the ocean product? What we are getting from ocean so far? Fish, all crab.
Algae.
Huh?
Algae.
Algae. Okay, great. How algae looks generally? Fish, everybody knows. What is algae?
Algae is.
How visibly it looks, I'm not asking the definition. What is algae, how it looks? Fish you can say, crab looks like that, prawn looks like that. Fish. How algae looks? Green color. It looks like green color, I agree. Visibly it's green in color. How it looks? It's like a fish or crab. How it looks?
3 colors.
3 colors.
Red, brown, green.
Yeah, I agree. All 3. But how it looks? It looks like a chair or the...
It looks like a layer in the tea.
Layer in the tea. It's like a green tea.
Yeah.
So what is it actually?
It's a type of marine living organism.
Yeah, great. Marine living organism. There are 3 colors. It looks like a tea. And what is it actually? No, tea color, I agree, green tea. So what is it actually? Can you compare this with anything on the ground, like, Yeah, it's a sea plant. It's like, farmers, we are from Tanjore, we are very much aware of the farmers and the paddy. We are cultivating rice and etc. on the farming land. Similarly, ocean also we can cultivate algae. So the other name is algae, it's a common name, seaweed is another name, sea plant or sea vegetables. It's actually vegetables. All vegetarian can eat them. If they call it as a sea vegetable, there are 3 major colors. Why there are 3 colors?
Red, brown.
Yeah, brown, red, and green. Why only these three colors? Then how the three colors are coming? Based on the pigment. So red color belongs to which pigment? So okay, you agree this is three vegetables. There are three colors. Three colors is related to three different pigments. So each gives different, not only colors. Okay, let's imagine you take the neem tree. What do you get from the neem tree? Any wild guesses are okay. That here, understand one thing, no one knows everything. Everyone knows little. So there is nothing shame in saying wrong answer. At least you will learn something new. So what do you generally get from neem tree? Oil. A neem oil. Next. Soap, pesticide, medicine. That's it. Antimicrobial stuff. Next. So okay, you extract neem plant and take the extract, use it for soap, antimicrobial, and so what do you do with the neem plant stems, branches? What do you do? So what is generally made up of? Okay, plants, you know, it's like there is pigments, you say. What about the neem, the big trunk? Foam. Comb. Neem comb. So what is it actually made up of? The comb, actually comb. Bark. So bark is made up of? Wood. Wood is made up of? What is actually the basic components of any wood or anything? Carbon. So carbon is living. Carbon is a separate entity, or carbon is in any other form? Various forms. Which form is a common form? You take neem, bamboo, anything. I agree. It's combined. It starts with the carbon. So carbon is in form of which form? Cellulose. Have you ever heard the word cellulose? Cellulose is the basic component in all these things. Everything is on cellulose. And what else is there in the neem? Neem is a common example, that's why I'm telling. Okay, there is a tea bar, neem bar. So when you got the actual, when you analyze, you get cellulose. So inside that, you can see the black one. What is it actually? Any plant? No idea? Lignin. Have you ever heard the term lignin? So you said carbon, right? Lignin is one form of carbon. Do you know the another form of carbon? Girls love the carbon. Diamond, you don't like it? Diamond is one form of carbon, right?
Yes.
How the diamond we are getting? Okay. The starting material is carbon. After millions of years, due to the temperature, pressure, thermophysical process, you end up in getting diamond. But what is the main difference I'm trying to say from the normal, plantation of the land and the ocean? All the plants has cellulose plus lignin. It's very difficult to extract lignin and get the pure cellulose. Whereas in the seaweed, the first major advantage is seaweed doesn't have a lignin. Lignin is a complicated, the big structure. I'll show the structure later. It's not easy to extract lignin. So if you want to have a pure cellulose, it's very difficult. You have to spend a lot of money, time and energy. But in the seaweed doesn't have a lignin. So the first advantage. The second place is now more people are trying to do, even in Tanjore, now we don't have a lot of farming places. Everything is converted to. So in future, I don't know what about. So the competition for land is increasing. So you can't have the paddy field. Think about the ocean. Do we have any competition? So the second point is we don't have a competition. We have a land. The third thing is if you plant a tree, any plant, so you need to give water. Next. Sunlight. Oxygen. Next. So you can live only with sunlight and water and oxygen. You don't need any food.
Nitrogen source.
Huh?
Nitrogen source.
Nitrogen. Next. So you need to have a water, sunlight, and fertilizer. You need to have some minerals, right?
Yes.
You need to have a metal ion, certain metal ions for your growth. But if you plant a tree in the land, imagine you're planting a tree outside this building. You need to pour water. You need to make sure the plant is getting the proper sunlight, and you need to give some fertilizer, whether it's a bio or green cemetery. You need to give some supplement to grow. Imagine in the marine resources. Imagine the Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal. Do you need to give water? Do you need to give sunlight, fertilizer, nutrients? Why? Because have you ever do you have any guess about the marine water? Go to the Kanyakumari, any beach you go. Have you ever tasted the water?
Salty.
Quite salty. Lot of sodium, 35,000 ppm of sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, plenty. So you don't need to give fertilizer or supplement. Already suspended on water, you don't need to give the water. And there is no competition for the sunshade. Have you ever seen any sunshade or some building on the marine water? So, no competition. So have you seen 5 big advantages? No competition for land, no need for sunlight, no need for fertilizer, nutrients, no need for the water, and there is no lignin. So why not we use CV? I'm not telling you to stop using land-based, but already if you are cutting the deforestation, so it's a global warming and temperature. So it's time to concentrate more on sea vegetable cultivation, because we have lot of seashore. So it's time to use, and Government of India also introduced a lot of projects and funding for seaweed cultivation. So it's time to go and cultivate instead of going to the land and cultivate whatever you cultivate. Why don't we do it? Already people are doing it. Actually, Tamil Nadu, when you go to Pattukottai, from Pattukottai to Tondi, the east coast, mostly the farmers, especially after the tsunami, it's their major mode of economy or income is the seaweed cultivation. Every house, if you see, go to the house, every morning they go to the sea and check whether the seaweed raft it's alive or not. So they are getting good money. It's not a simple money, 20 to 30,000 per month. So it's time to think about and going into cultivation of sea vegetables. I'm not telling you to stop doing cultivation, but side by side we should do so that we can be neutralized. We don't need to only depend on land-based plants. So based on that, I want you to say, so whatever is coming from marine resources, they call it as a blue economy, because it's coming from blue water. Next, please. So this is what I'm going to say. We need to have sustainable, anything you make, it should be sustainable in nature. Not like, today it's good, tomorrow it's good. But it's going to create secondary pollution or sludge. That's not good anymore. So anything we create, it should be sustainable in nature. Then the next point is the pollution control. Something you have and trying to make the material and try to use it in such a way so that that material can control whether it's organic pollution or inorganic pollution or biopollution. You should have the ability to control pollution to a certain extent. And do you have any idea about morphology? You have an architecture department, right? What they do generally? Architecture people. Who designed this building? You or me? Who? Huh? Who designed this building? Why they design? Because they know how to design a building. They design a building in such a way that the building should get superior ventilation and light and everything. Similarly, the people who design the material, they can make it in sphere or square or rectangle, hollow, nano, crystalline. They call it as morphology, material morphologist. That's what I'm going to talk more about it. And how to make the material. Okay, once we make the material from seaweed, how to characterize and conform how it looks like that. And some applications I'm going to take. Here, I think more than half of the section is girls. How many people are using seaweed-based creams or anything? No. Ever heard anything is how many of you eat ice cream? Candy, jellies, gummies. Do you know what is in there? In ice cream, jellies, everything? What is there in your ice cream and jellies? What is jelly actually? Agar. What is agar? Anyone is coming from this zone like Masulipatnam or Ramanathapuram district? So what's famous in your area? You have white color alva, you know, seaweed alva. Even Oriental towels, they are selling that dry one. Algae extract, you put it in hot water, you add China grass, that is lemongrass. What I'm telling is a white material. So you can make alva. Most of the ice creams, gummies and candies, the filling component, the chewing component is seaweed based polysaccharide. What is polysaccharide? Any example for polysaccharide? Starch is a polysaccharide. Why it is polysaccharide? More than one? So, what I'm mentioning polysaccharide, it's all coming from algae. You can name like a carrageenan, alvin, alginate, agar-agar. Everything they are extracting from sea vegetable, then they are already using it in food industry. It's not new, it's happening for many decades. The next major item is cosmetic industry. Have you ever used the Clean and Clear one facial liquid? Purple color cap and pink color. There they put microparticle. The pink liquid has a microparticle. When you scrub on your palm, the microparticle will break and the inside, flavor will come out. That will clean your face. Now it's banned in US. Here I don't know because these microparticles, unbroken one goes to the water resources and contaminate. So there also they are using these additives. Another industry it's majorly used is a medicinal field. Bone, have you seen that if you end up in an accident and wound healing, if you have a fire accident, before they used to put banana leaf. Why they are using banana leaf? Have you seen, right? People use banana leaf and banana. No, they put the extract of the banana one. Why? Is it new? Have you ever seen? No? No? Really? Okay, they use that because it has a cooling property and it can heal your burns better than your all kind of medicine. So, if you have a skin, also you have band-aid, right? In any kind of band-aid, there is a square section. What is there in the square section? If you are putting a band-aid, you put the center part on top of your wound. What is there in the square? Why your wound is getting better? Why you are putting band-aids? What is the use? You can put any clothes, right? Sterilized cloth is okay. Why band-aid? No one has used band-aid so far. You people are safe. You don't get any hurt or accident. I get more, so I use more. What is there? Why you are using band-aid? No one use band-aids? No one use band-aids? Oh, really? No one use band-aids in your life? Yes, sir. Yes. Why you use what is there in the square section, the middle section of the band-aid? Infect agama irukum. So, you need to reduce the infection. That means you need to create the antimicrobial property so that the wound can be healed better or faster. So, without band-aid, maybe you say 5 days. With band-aid, probably in 3 days, you can get better. So, what I'm trying to say, instead of the synthetic band-aids, so once your wound is cleared, what you do, you throw the band-aid. So where the band-aid will go and end up? On your veins. It is compressible. Do you think it can degrade? So it's not degradable. It's made from plastic, synthetic polymers. Instead of the synthetic polymers, we can use the seaweed polymer, seaweed polysaccharide, and we can make the band-aid. Because there are two advantages. Already these seaweed polysaccharides are antimicrobial property. Plus additionally we can put neem extract, turmeric extract, any extract, so that once your wound is cleared, you can throw this band-aid. Why? It's biodegradable. That is the first advantage. It's biodegradable. You don't need to apply any kind of external mechanisms to degrade the material. Even you can throw outside, it will normally degrade. It can be a fertilizer or the nutrient for the soil. So these are the major applications people should understand and work more so that we can replace all kind of synthetic polymers. Next, please. So this is what I said. The word is a green composite. Anything green means it's non-hazardous in nature. The next one is food industries. That is ice creams, gummies, everything already there. Even people they don't eat normal meat, or people who eat meat they want to get rid of it, but they can't live. You know that synthetic green meat. Have you heard? I don't know. They don't want to miss the chewing, the property, so they use green meat also. They are making from seaweed because it has a gummy property. Instead of 100% they use 50% meat and 50% of seaweed polysaccharides. They can they make a composite they are selling, but not in India. Outside India it's a big business. Cosmetic industry, you have a face mask, cosmetic people, they use moisturizer. Why the moisturizer? Not all the polysaccharides coming from seaweeds are water soluble. So anything water soluble is less hazardous in nature. We don't need to use any solvents, so we don't end up, now once you prepare and the extra solvents, what you have to throw. So all the polysaccharides are water soluble. They call it as hydrophilic material. What is hydrophilic? Water loving and lipophobic. Doesn't like oil. So anything you make, easy to make, easy to degrade, because it's made up, you are preparing any material. Anything you can see, a band-aid, artificial skin, tissue scaffold, anything you make, it's biodegradable because the medium you use water. And another one is, I don't know whether you people are using, the April, May, the temperature is high, the people are using sun-blocking material, right? UV 30, 40, 50, 20, and India is very famous for high temperature as well. So we made some material from seaweed. We take the starting material, we make a sun-blocking material, and it can, the efficiency is SPF 50. But when your starting material is seaweed, the total cost generally in the market, whatever they are selling is very expensive. But this one is quite cheap and it's competitively totally green. Medical sector, I said, anything we can do. Wound healing film, I myself, whatever I'm listing, everything I tried. I made a material, I made a papers, a patterns. So this can be extended or modified based on the need. It's like a tailor-made process. What is tailor-made process? You all buy ready-made dresses or you go to the shop and you stitch? Ready-made. No one goes to the tailor. That means you are missing. Before we used to go to the tailor, we'll say we need half sleeve, full sleeve, round. So that is called tailor-made. We have a material. We need to design the material based on the end product. You can't wear synthetic dresses in summer. So based on the season, based on the temperature, you have to make. Similarly, based on our final application, we make material that is called tailor-made process. So all the things is listed here. Everything, the starting material is seaweed. But the same material I change in a certain way, whether the process or application, but the end application is different. So that's why it's called it as a tailor-made process. So like I mentioned, what is morphology? Material can be of, the material nature is same, but it can be of different shapes. It can be fine powder. Even you can see that, take the carbon. Carbon can be like powder or thin layer. That is, it's a thin suspended layer, they call it as a graphene. Similarly, any material, whatever your final application, carbon you can make microbead, carbon you can coat on the membrane, carbon you can make hollow fiber, the same carbon you can make nanofiber, you can make nanoparticle, it's like hexagonal shape, square shape, everything based on your application. That's why the same material in different application. Do you have any idea what is the best morphology or what is the best structure for separation or extraction or transport applications? Imagine I want to treat the, whatever your wastewater using 1 meter of flat sheet material or 100 gram of powder carbon. Which one is more efficient? Both are carbon. 1 gram paper form, 1 gram powder form. Why powder form? So anything spherical in nature, active area is different. Imagine I want to fill 10 ml of beaker. So how much material, the absorbent, whatever I load, the flat sheet. Whereas if it is a spherical form, the active area, surface area is higher, you get more efficient process. That's why most of the morphology, separation aspect, efficiencies. That's why I said in clean and clear the face wash, they use microparticle or spherical shape. So what I'm trying to say, we take the seaweed, we make different forms of materials, and we end up in creating different applications. The first one is a flat sheet, the next one is carbon, you can say. This one is again carbon, but it's nanoparticle. The fourth one is microparticles. It's like a small balls. Another one is the hollow fiber membrane. The same material you can make different shapes and different application, efficiency changes. Because you take 10 ml of dye and you treat with a normal carbon powder. Okay, after the carbon absorbs all the dyes, you get the clean water, but again you have to use the reuse, another application to remove the dye from the carbon and reuse. Whereas the carbon has any structure or that it is easy to reuse or recover. That's why structures are more important. So this one is micro capsules or microspheres. Imagine like a small soccer ball. It's in microns range. I made like 840 micron to 800 micron. This is made up of polymer. The polymer can be synthetic polymer or your biopolymer. There is another name they use for bio. By anything bio means? Natural. It comes from the natural origin or it's degradable. So there are two parameters need to be qualified to consider anything as a bio. It should come from a natural origin or it should be biodegradable. So this material that I made is from bio. I take from seaweed algae polysaccharide. So inside that, if we cut, you can see it looks like orange. It's a lot of void. Here you can load your virus, bacteria, flavonoids. There are some perfumes but when you press, then the bubbles will open, the smell will come. So because the flavonoids are the compounds easy to evaporate, so they have to put it, they have to save it in a small balls. When you rub, that balls will open, you get this, actual aroma. So these are the major applications. Since you people are biotech, if you want to do any enzymatic reactions, when you want to load any bacteria, anything, you can load because this microsphere has holes on the surface. So anything you can load, you can apply any physico-chemical process, increase the temperature or the pH or anything you do, the thing will come out. That way you can control your reaction. That means if you want to do any catalytic conversion reaction, you load the catalyst inside this microsphere and you perform the reaction on that. And once the reaction is over, you get the product, but you can reuse the microspheres. That's major applications. Again, it's not new. I don't know whether you people use the carbon paper. Have you ever used the carbon paper? Before, there is a bill that guy used to keep a carbon paper and write. Why they are using that? Why carbon paper? Why it's easy to copy? How it's happening? Even sometimes when you're using carbon paper, your hand will get smudged, right? The ink. So what is there? What is the magic? What is there in the carbon paper? Blue, black. What is there? Now we got Xerox, blah blah, photocopy. Before nothing. Only all officials, government offices, they keep one. They say carbon copy. CC we always put. How the image is getting transferred to another paper? Ink coated. So do you think you can coat ink on any paper, it will not smudge? While you apply pressure only, the ink will release. So what is happening? There are microparticles. It's not new, it's 1950s technology. They load the ink in microparticles form, that is they used to make the paper. Simply if you keep the carbon paper, nothing will come. When you apply pressure, when you write something, that image will be there. So this is a very old technique, still people are using, but in different version, not carbon paper, something else they are using. So this one is the green seaweed. There are 3 colors of seaweed is there. The green is major because easy to cultivate. Even if it is a weather extremes, it can sustain, especially our zone. The one family I'm talking, they call it as alva. Alva is a, when you write this, you can write in italics. Alva fasciate is the one I took, and I get cellulose. The white color, the second one is cellulose. That cellulose I extracted from the seaweed. Have you heard about the ionic liquid? Is it easy to dissolve the cellulose? It easy to dissolve the cellulose? You cut the neem tree, put it in the water, do you get the cellulose? Yes or no? Why no? It is polysaccharide, means it's not soluble in water. Which bond? Cellulose is the carbon-based material. This cellulose can be converted to diamond. It's difficult to dissolve these or break the bonds in cellulose. Cellulose is not water soluble. None of the cellulose is water soluble. Even it comes from neem tree or the seaweed. So what I hear they use ionic liquid. What is ionic liquid? Ionic liquid. What is ionic liquid? From the name you can say. Huh? It's iron. Why it's liquid? Okay. Now I am asking ionic liquid. Ionic liquid actually is a salt. Generally salts in solid form. Have you seen salt in liquid form? Why? What is salt generally? There should be a cation. Then it is salt. If there is a cation plus anion, it's neutral. So it's in salt form. The basic example is sodium chloride, Na plus Cl minus. But I am telling, these are all salts. These salts are in liquid form. Why? This is the latest discovery, maybe late 2008 or 9. They developed this ionic liquid. It is actually a salt, but it doesn't stay in a solid form. It's in liquid form. That's why ions are there, but still it's in a liquid. They call it as ionic liquid. The first generation ionic liquid they made in 2008 or 9 by Ireland, Robert Sedan. So that is the one majorly people use to dissolve the cellulose. Similarly, I also use, but this ethyl methyl imidazosodium acetate. Acetate is an anion, ethyl methyl imidazosodium is a cation. Using that, I get the seaweed cellulose in liquid form. With that, I made the film. That film can be used to coat your medicines. When you are buying a medicines, you get in strips, right? Instead of using synthetic, you can use that. You can cover food package. You can cover any vegetables, especially berries, strawberry, blueberries. You can coat. Also, you can use it for many other applications. In the down pictures, you can see I write the name of that. It doesn't smudge. I use the normal ballpoint pen. I write seaweed film. So it's not hydrophobic. It's not humidified. It's clear film you can make. The same film I used and I added some neem extract and other extract I used as a band-aid. I tried with the hospital in our university and we tested that. This is the process I used. But how we made the film from the liquid, there our membrane technology comes. Anything liquid to solid, one phase to another phase, we call it as a phase inversion. We take the liquid, the seaweed cellulose in ethyl ammonium acetate, and we cast using the doctor plate and we put it in the water. The liquid is converted to solid. We get the film. Using this technology, I think from Siddhalinga, Shokma, Dr. Sauri Rajan. Actually, we should be proud, our Indian, the person from Siddhali, Dr. Sauri Rajan, Srinivasan Sauri Rajan. He is the one who developed this technology, phase inversion. He went to Canada, and first he went to US for his PhD. While traveling, what I'm telling is 1940s, 50s, he went by boat, ship. It takes 2 months to reach US. While traveling time, he noticed the sea waves. Have you seen the sea waves? So end of the sea wave, what will happen? The waves comes and foam. You can see the bubbles white color. What is it actually? Every tide it comes and ends up like, kind of foamy material. That he noticed while traveling. He went to US. He told his professor, I want to try this. So he is the first one who developed this phase inversion and successfully made the cellulose acetate membrane in 1960s. Still now, all over the world, people are using this technology. Recently, I think 2023 February, at the age of 99, I think he died. So he is like a pioneer in phase inversion. Same technology everybody use, and we dry the film. Once the films are dried, we need to characterize. How to characterize? We can use IR, thermogrammetric, or microscope to understand how the films and other steps are looked. Thank you. Next corner. This is the film. This, when I was dissolving in ionic liquid my cellulose, I put it under the microscope. How fast it's dissolving? Within 10 minutes, I was able to dissolve all my cellulose in ionic liquid. First picture is a 0 minute. Initially, you can see that. In 10 minutes, every cellulose is completely dissolved. Then I was able to make the film, algal cellulose film. Again, I reused the ionic liquid. I dissolved more cellulose. I was able to make more band-aids or wound healing films using the same material. Okay, this is the sun blocking material. This is my pattern, so I can't say much. Like I said, this big structure down, but it's not very visible. This is something called lignin material. It's not exactly lignin. Actually, this, when I was making the reaction, we get the product, but we get some side byproduct. It's like a waste. We thought, let's throw. The next weekly we used to have a meeting. Our HOD asked, so what is the byproduct? What do you people doing? I said, we throw as usual. He said, no, why don't you find some applications? Then, because of this question, we went again, we did the experiment, we got the material, and it's like a fluke, you can see, trial and error, we planned something, and we did the UV test first, because the material is chocolate color. Most of the sun blocking things, the basic quality should be brown in color. The brown can, cut the UV rays. So first we did the UV test and we saw it's completely cutting all 3 UV zones. Then we made the film, we made the pattern, we put all our lab windows, we coated the film, and we saw the clear difference. The rays are not coming inside. Then we made the pattern. If the starting material to end product, then you see the cost, the same material we used in the cream. L'Oreal company, they bought the pattern. They are making SPF creams, including this material. And they are selling like, thousands and thousands. But the starting material cost totally, when you calculate, it comes less than 100 rupees for this technology. Even you can use this in car shades. Many applications are there. And Aditya Birla Group, the textile group, they bought this. They are making UV protective cloths, UV protective hat, t-shirts and everything. The starting material is same. The applications varies. Final end up in different areas. That is the picture showing, it's completely the red line, that is our material. It's completely cutting UVA, B and C. That means completely it's safe. When you apply, it's like, it's safe. None of the UV rays are going to touch you. That's what I want to say here. The same thing how we make. This is the material. Like I said, it's a trial and error, it's a fluke. We thought it looks like a chocolate, we can do UV test. That is the first RB flask is our material, then dried, and the C is our film. That's how it's look like honey color. We coated all our windows in our lab, and 1 month we study. The rays are coming, and we didn't put the AC on. It was more effective. And these E and G, I think Kumaran might be aware. A from pictures. A from is atomic force microscopy. When you make a material, it looks smooth, but it doesn't look smooth in micro level. So how many ups and downs are there? When you put our film under the AF microscopy, you can see it's like, lot of ups and downs. That means our material surface is not smooth. For some application, the material should be smooth. For some application, especially the microbial fouling, it shouldn't be smooth. If it is smooth, a lot of bacteria can. There are two processes are there. Some people will say should be smooth, so it will be control the fouling. But some people will say you should be morphology should be rough so that you don't have much of fouling. So this is how it looks. The first picture is 2-dimensional and G and H are 3-dimensional. You can see it's like lumps. And that is the last I and J. It's the same pictures. Some pictures is a scanning electron microscopy. Again, it tells how your morphology or surface looks like. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any questions.